Welcome dear students in the second lecture of the course Elect Agron 311 Agricultural Waste Management. This is the second lecture of Unit 1, that is Nature of Agricultural Waste. In last lecture you have come to know that what is waste, what is agricultural waste, what are the problems arised because of the improper waste management, what should be the correct practice of waste management, and how the waste can be utilized, or in what ways or in what products waste can be converted. We have seen this in last lecture. For managing the waste, this is utmost important that we should know the nature of waste or the class of waste. So in this lecture, the second lecture of Unit 1, Nature of Waste Management, in this lecture you will come to know the contribution of agriculture in total waste generation. There are two types of waste, that is known as biodegradable waste and non-degradable waste. So this category, this is the nature. If waste is a degradable waste, we can say it is a biodegradable waste. This is the nature of waste. So what are these two categories, we will come to know. There are some waste which are hazardous. So hazardous agricultural waste we will come to know. The constituents of agricultural waste, it is also related to the nature. It decides the nature of agricultural waste. So we will come to know the constituents, and why we are interested to know the nature of waste and what should be the waste management strategy. So these two things also you will come to know in this lecture. So these are the contents of our today's lecture. So this is the classification of solid waste. Actually, these waste which are generated from agriculture, or which are generated from municipality, which are generated from industry, these all are known as solid waste. Liquid waste is generated basically in water bodies, or the liquid which is generated from the solid waste, it run off to the water body, then it pollutes water bodies. So majorly these city waste or agricultural waste is known as solid waste. So this is a pyramid of waste contribution. This is the pyramid of each sector and their contribution in the total waste. See, here we are talking about only agricultural waste. In this course we are studying agricultural waste, but the waste which is generated in India, that is not only agricultural waste. Several other sectors are also generating the waste. Even our municipality also generating a lot of waste. So this is a pyramid which is showing that how much waste is contributed in the total waste by which sector. So here it is very clear that municipality is generating the maximum amount of solid waste in the country. This municipality which is generating the maximum amount of solid waste, this is basically the household waste. But in this household waste there are two types of waste. One is a kitchen waste which can be degradable, another is the rest material like other than the kitchen. So all is municipality waste. Agricultural waste is the second largest sector of waste generating sector. So agriculture is generating waste in the country secondly to the municipality waste. Then the third category is biomedical waste, the waste which is generated from the hospitals and the medical sectors, and this biomedical sectors these wastes are in the third category. The industrial wastes are less, contributing in the total waste. As you know, the lot of industries and the factories are running in the country and they are generating lot of waste, but still their contribution in the waste is less. It is because of the proper waste management practice, waste handling. You know, in municipality, the waste management or the waste processing, waste recycling, this practice is very least followed in municipality. What municipality does, municipality just collect the waste and dump somewhere. In agriculture, lot of waste is burned and some waste is processed. And in last lecture where I have shown you a photograph where the potatoes are thrown roadside, so this practice is less. Industrial waste contribution is less in the total waste. It is because of the waste management, because industries get license to run their factory when they convince the government that they are adopting a good waste management practice. But they are generating the waste also, they are managing it very properly, and their contribution is lesser than the municipality and agricultural waste. And lastly, few amount of waste is generated as e-waste. E-waste is the terminology which is used for the electronic waste. It means the material it is also, e-waste is also a category of industrial waste, but this is the waste generated from the products or material which are used electronically, like our television, computers, these things. When it is converted into the waste, whatever the waste they generate, it is known as e-waste. So agricultural waste, so this is the total waste in India is generated. So agriculture sector is the second largest sector which contributes in the total waste of the country. Now the waste, total waste which are generated in the country can be divided into two categories. One is biodegradable waste, another is the non-degradable waste. So these two categories is for the whole waste, whole total waste generated in the country, including agricultural waste, including municipality waste, including industrial waste. So there are two categories. So what are the biodegradable waste? Biodegradable waste is a type of waste typically originating from plant and animal sources. So here you come to know, waste generated from plant and animal sources. In last lecture we have seen that waste generated from plant and animal sources, because plant production and animal rearing is the agricultural activity. So this we can immediately, it is clicking in our mind that this is the agricultural waste. Yes, you are right. Biodegradable waste is the waste typically originating from plant and animal sources which may be degraded by other living organisms. So these are the biodegradable waste because it is degraded by the living microorganism. So it is biodegradable waste. So biodegradable waste includes green farm waste, kitchen waste, animal waste, human waste, manure, sewage, slaughterhouse waste. So these type of waste is biodegradable waste. So this can be degradable by the microorganisms very easily in a shorter time. So this is biodegradable waste, and from where it is generated, when we see it, immediately we understand that this is the agricultural waste. Another is the non-biodegradable waste. So this non-biodegradable waste, it cannot be decomposed by the biological process. It is known as non-biodegradable waste. So this waste cannot be decomposed or degraded by the living microorganism. So if this cannot be degraded by the biological process or by the microorganism, so definitely it will remain in society, or it will remain in our country or in our society for a longer time, and it will create problem for us in a longer time, for the longer time. So what should be the strategy for this non-biodegradable waste? So most of the inorganic waste, in first category we have seen, these all are the organic waste because it is generated from the plant and animal sources. The second category is inorganic type of waste, which is non-biodegradable. So it is inorganic type, means it is generated from the industry through the chemical process or through the manufacturing process. So these waste can be recycled or not recycled. Even all the non-degradable wastes or all the inorganic waste can be recycled. So typically all can be recycled. Plastic is a non-biodegradable waste. Plastic can be recycled. There are certain category in plastic which cannot be recycled. Just like iron. So iron can also be recycled. So there are two category of waste. So non-biodegradable waste is the inorganic and degradable waste is the organic waste. That's why I have written first the definition of organic waste. Organic waste is any material that is biodegradable and comes from either a plant or animal. So by studying this slide, here it is very clear to us that our agricultural wastes are organic waste. Our agricultural wastes are organic waste. This organic waste is biodegradable waste. So here in our agricultural waste management course, we will study that how these wastes can be degradable biologically, what are the biological process through which these waste is being degraded or being decomposed. Another is non-biodegradable waste, that is the industrial part. So in this course we will not study that part, but you should be aware about the problem created by the waste and how it should be handled. So this industrial waste, that is non-degradable waste, this is recyclable. So this is the reason what the plastic is creating a problem. It is not plastic which is creating problem. It is a polythene bag, carry bag of polythene which is creating a problem. Because if it is a thick plastic like plastic pipes, so plastic pipe means it is not creating a problem. We are using it, and when it is dumped, it can be recycled. Here I am leaving a question for you. Can iron be degraded or not? Iron. So iron can be degradable biologically or not? This question you will think over it, and in next webinar we will discuss about it. So here we come to know that our agricultural waste are organic waste and biodegradable waste. This is the nature of our agricultural waste. So agricultural waste is the waste generated from the agro industries. Here we are saying agro industries because the whole agricultural activities, this is the farm activities and industrial activities and processing and everything comes under agriculture. Means a whole agro industry means the real agriculture and the agro based industries, they also come in agricultural activity. So this agro industries can be divided into two categories, that is one is agricultural waste, agro industrial waste can be divided is one is agricultural residue, that is crop residue. Another is industrial residue. When you supply your agricultural product to the industry, when they process it, then some residual materials they generate in their industry. For example, rice. We produce rice in our field, by doing real agriculture, real cultivation practice, we produce rice. When we produce rice, rice grain is the economic part. Rice straw is the crop residue. So rice straw is generated here as a field residue. Rice straw is generated as a field residue. When this rice grains, when it is primarily processed in mill, they also generate husk. So when we do real agriculture in farm, we cultivate the rice crop, the rice grain is economic part, straw is the waste. But this grain, when it goes to the mill, again mill is generating this rice, milled rice as an economic part, and the rice husk becomes a waste. So this agricultural residue are divided into two categories, that is field residue and processed residue. So field residues are stem, stalk, leaves, seed pods like sugarcane seed pods and other things like sugarcane trash or our wheat straw, paddy straw. These things are field residue. Processed residue like husk, seeds, roots, bagasse, molasses. This is from sugarcane industry. So this is the processed residue. Agro-industrial waste, another category, is from the agro-based industries like potato industry, chips industries, orange juice extraction industries. So they generate, or sauce making industries, they also generate some waste. It is also a organic waste and it is biodegradable waste. So whatever the waste is generated by the industry, that is potato peel, orange peel, cassava peel. Cassava peel, you know, cassava is a crop, tapioca is a crop. The tuber of the tapioca is processed by the mill to prepare this cassava. The cassava साबूदाना जो हम खाते हैं, सफ़ेद रंग का साबूदाना जो पूरा स्टार्च होता है. So when industry is processing the cassava tapioca crop to the cassava grains, cassava granules, a lot of peels is generated. So that is the waste. Oil cake, groundnut oil cake or coconut oil cake or soybean oil cake or even mustard oil cake, that is, in last lecture I have discussed DOC, D-oil cake. So D-oil cakes are also the waste material which is generated by the industries. So this is the waste generated by the industries. These are the agricultural waste. But here you will see these all the waste, even this with the arrow, all the names written with this arrow, these all the wastes are biodegradable waste. So if it can be degraded, it can be decomposed through the biological process. So the only management is required. These are not the harmful waste. If we do proper management, these waste will not create a big problem. But in our agriculture process, there are some waste which are known as hazardous waste. So these are some hazardous waste in agriculture. These are also known as agricultural waste. So again, here agricultural waste is fertilizer, pesticide, farm animal waste and sediments. In this slide, what agricultural waste I have told to you, that is from the crop part of the agriculture. Some waste is generated from the livestock or the animal husbandry part of the agriculture. So that is known as animal waste. These are the animal excreta, cow dung, skeleton of the animals. These wastes are known as animal waste, and some sediments are also regarded as the agricultural waste because sediments are the problem of poor management in our field practice. So it generates lot of sediments. Fertilizer and pesticide, these two are known as hazardous waste. Now you you will tell that sir, fertilizer is the agricultural input, pesticide is the agricultural input, how it can be regarded as a waste? Yes, fertilizer is a useful material, fertilizer is used as input, but what happens because of the improper use of fertilizer or because of the excessive use of fertilizer? See, excessive use of fertilizer means 150 kg nitrogen is required, but farmers are applying 250 kg nitrogen. That is the excessive use of fertilizer. Improper use of fertilizer means for crop production, for a healthy soil, nitrogen, phosphorus, potash ratio should be 4:2:1. But nowadays, nitrogenous fertilizers are applying in larger quantity in relation to the phosphatic and potash fertilizer. So now it is 8:2:2.5, like this it is. So nitrogenous fertilizers. So these fertilizers are creating a problem. The excess fertilizers, the nutrients are going to the water bodies either through runoff, and these nutrients are going to the groundwater table through the leaching, and they are the cause of eutrophication. Pesticides, fungicide, herbicide and rodenticides, these are the hazardous agricultural waste. Pesticides are the agricultural inputs. It is used to manage the crop, to protect our crop from insect attack and from disease attack, fungal attack. So we used to spray this fungicide, herbicide or insecticides. But again, because of the wrong or higher concentration of the spray, most of the time what farmer does, farmer sprays the higher concentration of insecticide as recommended, because when farmer will spray the recommended concentration of pesticide, it will kill the insect and there will be no residual effect in our agricultural produce or in our soil. But just to get a quick result, farmer don't follow the recommended practice. When they use the higher dose of insecticide, herbicide or fungicide, their phytotoxicity in the soil and in the plant increases. So their residual effect in the plant and in the soil, it creates a problem, and it is the residue in the soil which is agricultural waste and which is creating harm, and it cannot be managed. So it is a hazardous agricultural waste. So this is the another type of agricultural waste. This is the another nature of agricultural waste. So here again we come to the biodegradable plant origin agricultural waste. You know, when we do agriculture and we produce crops, so certain crops are rich in certain nutrients. So the importance of these crops, that they nourish us, they nourish human population by providing that nutrient. For example, wheat and rice, which is known as staple food, this wheat and rice provides us carbohydrate. This carbohydrate is a source of energy for us. When we use to eat pulse, it provides protein to us, which is a body building element. When we used to eat groundnut or mustard, they provide fatty acid to us. So these all crops, even when we used to say to eat vegetables, they provide minerals to us. When we used to eat fruits, they provide minerals and vitamins to us. So these, for example, one fruit is Amla, Imblica. Imblica is Amla. Amla is rich in vitamin C. Tomato is rich in vitamin C. Carrot is rich in vitamin A. So these vegetables and fruits, they are providing us vitamins and minerals. So these are the constituents of that these agricultural produce, and for getting these constituents, we are producing pulse, not for our not for preparing dal in our kitchen. We are producing pulse because they supply protein to us. But the waste which is generated by the pulse, what are the constituents in that waste? So these are the constituents: cellulose, hemicellulose, and lignin. These are the constituents which are present in the waste. For example, in sugarcane trash, cellulose is present in the higher quantity. There are, for example, in cotton, lignin is present. So we should know that which waste is having which constituent in what percentage. So in plant waste, most of the plant waste, this cellulose percentage 33 to 80%. It is depending on this variation is depending upon crop to crop. But in animal waste, this cellulose percentage is only 11 to 25%. In this animal waste, protein content is more. Carbon content you can see 48 to 53% in plant waste, and carbon content in animal waste is 48 to 59%. So in terms of carbon content, both are equal. CN ratio, carbon nitrogen ratio, because nitrogen, phosphorus, potash is also present in this waste, and by the decomposition of these waste we get these nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash, and organic carbon and CN ratio. So this plant waste is rich in cellulose, and here animal waste, here we are seeing that it is rich in hemicellulose. Lignin is more in plant waste, but lignin is less in animal waste. So these are the constituents of plant waste and animal waste. These constituents we should know. So these are the nature of agricultural waste. It is decided by that its physical description is to be considered. So physically, what type of waste we have? It is solid waste, it is dry, or it is wet, or it is rich in next is water reactivity of the waste is required. Water solubility, so these wastes are not water soluble. Its pH, its inflammability, we should know the inflammability. In last lecture in our photograph we have seen the dry waste, the farmers go for the burning, and in wet waste, which is potato and tomato, that waste waste which farmer cannot burn, so farmer throw it at the field side or the road side. So presence of oxidizer, presence of sulfide or cyanides, presence of biohazardous material, presence of toxic constituents, presence of polychlorinated biphenyls, or presence of high order compounds. So these nature of the waste we should know. It varies in crop to crop, varies in product by product. So why we should know the nature of waste? This is the importance of nature of waste, because we want to handle it, because we know if we will not handle it properly, it will create problem. It will create a pollution problem, it will create eutrophication, it will create a health and hazard problem also. So for the proper handling of the waste, we should know their nature, and by knowing their nature we can decide what should be our practice. So whether we should go for the composting, or we should go for the vermicomposting, or we should go for the biogas generation. So suppose our this straw, or sugarcane trash. Biogas generation from sugarcane trash is very difficult because sugarcane trash cellulose content is high, it is a dry because biogas generation is a wet process. So the waste which is already wet, for example tomato, rotten tomato or the discarded tomato, discarded potato or from the cow dung, we can generate biogas. But biogas generation from the sugarcane trash or from the rice straw, it is very difficult. So when we know the nature of the waste, only then we can decide what should be our handling process or process treatment or processing strategy. When we go for the, suppose we have selected one process that we will go for the composting. So what should be our process? We should go for the mesophilic composting or thermophilic composting. We will go for the anaerobic or aerobic composting. This also depends on the nature of the waste, because in composting bacteria work there and they convert our waste material into the compost. When the feed changes, feed means this our agricultural waste is a feed for the bacteria. So for example, you have provided banana peel, you have dumped banana peel in a pit and you are allowing decomposing it, composting of it. So some bacteria are decomposing it. Immediately instead of banana peel you will put lot of potatoes there. So the bacteria which are feeding over the banana peel, their activity suddenly slow down because their feed is changed, it is potato now. So it will take time that the another type of bacteria will develop there and they will start rotting out the potatoes. So what type of bacteria we should use, what type of process, aerobic process or anaerobic process we should use, it is decided on the basis of nature of the waste. So type of microorganism, if we are going for the biogas generation, we should go for the methanogenic bacteria, and if it is aerobic or composting process, we should go for the acidogenic bacteria. If our waste is high in cellulose content, we should go for the cellulitic bacteria. If our waste is high in lignin content, we should go for the lignocellulitic microorganism or the group of fungi. So which group of fungi or which group of bacteria we should select to decompose our waste, it depends on the nature of the waste. So it is very important to know the nature of the waste. So in the further lectures you will see crop by crop that what is the nature of sugarcane trash, what is the nature of onion peel, what is the nature of cow dung. So in further lecture you will see, and according to that nature I will narrate you the whole process of its decomposition or of its processing. To select the species of earthworm, for the vermicomposting, the species of earthworm is very important. If you are going to produce vermicompost from the cow dung, your species is different. If you are going to produce vermicompost from the vegetable waste, your species will different. So the species selection is also very important, and it depends on the nature of agricultural waste. And to make the specialized product like DOC, animal poultry or fish feed or wine or soil amendments, so if our waste is from the oil industry, definitely we can produce DOLK, and this DOLK can be used as animal feed or it can be used as a soil amendment, or this DOC can be composted and it can be used as a soil conditioner. So this is very important to know the nature of waste. These are the strategies, these are the process which we need to handle in our waste management. So we can decide these process only when we will come to know about the nature of the waste. So this is a guideline of the processing. If waste is sewage, for example cow dung, if waste is a sewage type waste, we should go for the biogas. If it is rice straw, if it is bagasse, barley straw, sesame straw, we can go for the animal fodder, we can go for the composting, and some part we can go for the biogas also. If it is cotton stock or it is pruning material, we can go for the briquetting. Briquetting is a block of the organic material, hard organic material, so which is used as a fuel. So this cotton stalk or the pruning from the orchard, that waste is generated. So these two type of wastes are very good for the fuel purpose. So it is going to the briquetting. So briquetting can be used as a fuel. So this way nature of waste can decide what should be the process of its handling and what will be the use of that waste or the use of end product of the processing of that waste. So this way nature of waste decides our processing guideline. So in this lecture we know the nature of agricultural waste. We also know the criteria to decide the strategy of waste management according to its nature. So for further reading you can read this one article, Agricultural Waste Concept, Generation, Utilization and Management. This article is published in Nigerian Journal of Technology, volume 35, number 4, October 2016. Thank you very much.